All right, so here with the one and only Marc Rheinard. Now, Marc, we sat down and had a chat similar to this, I guess, in Beijing back in 2016. And I wanted to kind of do this again with you because, as I said with a few people, a lot has changed since 2016 for you, I think.
Yes.
So let's start. Back in 2016, you were still racing with Tamiya. And then fairly soon after that, the Tamiya program came to an end. You had to move on from that one. What were your emotions like, you know, thinking back to that time when Tamiya, did you get an email or a phone call that says, actually, Marc, this is the end?
Yeah, this was actually a bad feeling, to be honest. In the beginning, I think they all said before the world started that if we don't take the title, one of our team members, then they might stop. But I thought it's just like rumors, or because I didn't get it from the officials, so I just hear it here and there. And then, suddenly we didn't win. And then I think in October, I woke up, take a shower, checked my emails, and there was an email from Tamiya. I was like, oh, it seems not like a good time. And then I read through it, and I was like, oh shit, they really do it. So they really said they're gonna stop it. So in this moment I was already, what should I do? And because I was never thinking to change, because Tamiya is just like, you know,
it had been
for me like
your life,
really, it started in 1995, and then we keep going all the time. But it came to an end, and then I had to look for some other opportunities, and
And then after a lot of looking around, and I know you had some different offers on the table and different discussions, it was appeared with Infinity next, which was, let's be honest, it was up and down. You had some good results with them, some struggles as well. There was definitely things you were quite vocal about, the car development or not much car development happening. Then that period came to an end, and you needed to again search something else. How do you reflect back on that time with Infinity?
Actually, it started pretty good. I mean, it was the team was just growing, and the results were pretty good. I think I won maybe twice the Rivalries. I'm not sure, 1 or 2 times, I don't know. And even the car, like you said, I tried to get the car better, but for some reason they didn't want. And then being like an honest European, talking straight to them, maybe it wasn't the right way for them that I was like this way. And then same thing happened. My contract was still going, but I also got an email that they want to stop and blah blah blah. And then I took it, and in the end, I must say this was actually the best thing what could happen, because then I started to work with Tonisport. We could get a deal with Oleg and also Medics, because he always wanted me to drive his car. And from this moment on, I'm really happy. You know, I go to work. There's no race, and still having to me like the best car on the market, driving what I wanted to. And I mean, there are many ups and downs before, but now it's the same thing. You know, it's never be always consistently on top.
Nothing's going to be perfect, is it?
So no, the way it is now, I'm really happy.
Yeah, and that was kind of leading into the. How is what is working for Tonisport mean? How does that balance with your racing life now?
Yeah, I mean, I can still go to any race I want to, but like when there's no race, like let's say when the race finishes here on Sunday, on Monday morning I go and help again. You know, being in the office, also packing the stuff and doing the orders and all the stuff, and which is kind of good, because if you just hang out at home or doing other stupid things, then you have at least like a normal daily work. And as soon as I want to go for racing, practicing, or just wrenching on the car, I still always have the time if I need to. And I'm not the guy who practices a lot. So it's a good balance for me.
And talking about like kind of sponsors and support that you get, the big kind of move over the last year has been you going to Coyote and that brand kind of being established. Back working with Oscar Janssen, who you know from the days at Team Orion. What's it been like working with him, but also people like Tsuchihara coming back onto the scene as well? Yeah,
actually, I never thought it's going to happen, because kind of Oscar disappeared for certain years, I would say. He was not really there. And last year in Thailand, they showed up, and they showed the new product line they have. And he asked, and I said, yeah, for sure. And then I see everything around. They invited me to China. I could see that everything's really made in-house, so it's not only talk, so it's really happening there. And also with the people behind, super nice and friendly, and it felt really good. So I was okay, that's a deal we need to do. And I know when I worked with him back in the day, it was also, he made me actually being where I'm now, because he traveled with me when the Orion times we had, and so I know him a long time, and with Tsuchihara, same thing. So I thought this is like a good sign if you have like 2 of the older generations promoting a new brand. And when you can see now on racing, there are really many people using the Coyote batteries, which I saw when they make the batteries in-house, and it's, I wouldn't say it, but I'm sure we have like especially future-wise, the best batteries on the market, I'm pretty sure.
So things really moving in a positive direction that way 100%. As well. Have to talk about your lifestyle as well.
Yes.
We kind of joke about that a little bit sometimes when we're at the track, but you know, you've grasped the idea of social media like nobody else in terms of explaining to people that you have a life outside of RC, and people love kind of watching, where's Marc going next? And I love your post where you go, guess which destination I'm off to next when I'm at the airport. So you take RC really seriously, I know that, although sometimes it does come across not so seriously to people as well. Let's be honest, you're not getting any younger. You're into that as well now. So how does that lifestyle that you want to lead fit in with your job as being an RC driver?
Yeah, like you said, like all my friends, like my real friends from home, from my hometown, they have nothing to do with RC. So I'm always happy when I'm coming home, just meet my friends and doing like normal stuff, not talking about RC, just at the work, yes. But before the GP3F, like the last race was the Worlds. So from November to January, I didn't touch my cars at all. Just a week before the race, I went to Haslo and practice there. So I prepare my cars a week before, and that's it. So I love the sport. I do it seriously, especially before bigger events. I practice, prepare, trying to be on point, and it works out. But if there's no race for like a couple of months or weeks, I also take the time off to not see my cars, because after so many years, you know, it's doing always the same thing. It's not satisfying. So I like the work-life balance. My friends always say I have a really good work-life balance, and I agree. It's I didn't want to change.
You recognise you're really lucky with that, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. And I like to travel, I like to see new places, go watch football, play tennis, whatever, and just hang out with my friends and not bother about RC.
Yeah. You're still passionate about RC though?
Yes, definitely. I mean, there are like weeks, like after the Worlds, I'm happy that I don't drive. Yeah. But as soon as the race comes up, I'm already feeling the motivation again to be like, okay, it's the sport or hobby you love. So I know I still have the speed to win against the younger ones as well. So it feels good. Maybe if this doesn't happen anymore, if I see I'm always like far behind, maybe it changes. But right now I'm feeling still good, and like at the Worlds, it was a close fight, so I'm still in the mix.
That leads perfectly onto what I kind of next had lined up, which is about, you know, people, because let's be honest again, you're part of that generation with people like Ronald who are getting older, and you've seen some of the new people coming along. Bruno's come along, Michael's come along, some of the others are starting to step up now, Simon Lauter as well in touring car. But you're still managing to stay in the mix. People say, maybe Marc's done now, he's not going to win a race, but you're still winning races. You won the 12 Scale Worlds in 2020, you won Longwy just last week.
Yes.
You believe
European Championship, yes.
Uh-huh. You believe every time you go to a track you can win, don't you?
Of course. I'm not worried about it, Orlovsky, Bruno, or who else, because when I'm at the track, I know I can beat them if everything goes right, and they also have days where it's not going 100%. So
when you get those days where it's not 100%, do you ever take a step back and go, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am?
No.
That's not the Marc Rheinard mindset, is it?
I'm still there. Yeah. I know it, I feel it, and I will still go for it all the time.
You mentioned Bruno there as well, you mentioned Michael. There's rivalries, there's friendships in that as well. Who do you see as your biggest rival at the moment?
Michael. Because he is at every race I go.
Yeah.
Bruno, for example, he went to Euros and Worlds, but beside that, we didn't see him that much. So let's see if he come back to like an ETS and more other races. But right now, I would say it's Michael. He's the one to beat. He's like the upcoming. He's not the upcoming star. He's already a star. So, but he's the one who's always there. He's the most professional right now. He's just traveling and doing nothing else than just being there and always perfect prepared. So he's a guy to hunt.
I have to ask then. So, what is the relationship like with Bruno at the moment?
I say hello at the race. I have no contact to him, so I wouldn't call us friends compared to other racers like Michael. You know, with him I share the room at the 12 Scale Worlds. We are like 1 and 2, being hard on track, but being friends, driving in the same car back to the hotel room. You know, like this is like a different thing. But I mean, you cannot always have friends in RC in the sports race. I don't think that Verstappen is a friend of Hamilton or whatever. I don't know. So, but that's normal. And but with Michael,
It's a genuine friendship with Michael, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is really interesting because he openly says you were his idol when he was growing up, and that's a really, I guess, a strange situation then to have someone that you're looking up to and then becoming one of your best friends. And you said you've obviously got a lot of friends outside of RC and you keep that very separate, but I guess it's important to have that inside the hobby as well, because probably only a few people know what you face day to day in being an RC driver.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, like this is also a guy where I would say, yeah, we can hang out and have also like normal vacation, just going somewhere, and you don't have that many people who would do it in this sport. So besides like the Germans, like Yannick, grumpy like this, like no, but yeah, I remember when he was there. I think when he drove maybe the first ETS in Andernach, when he was still like super small, and he got the body shell of me, and he still has it, and he's also doing the same way like I did with Tamiya Cup, coming the same way, and it shows that it pays off, and it's nice to see that he is where he is now.
Yeah. So you've had a huge amount of experience in RC. Where do you see yourself and RC going next? So if, I say you and I sat down maybe, 8 years ago and did this the chat last. What if we do this again in 4 or 5 years' time? What do we think we'll be talking about then?
I hope the same. I hope I still sit there and can fight with the guys. I don't think about retiring anyway. So as long as I'm fast enough and can fight for the wins, I will be still there. But maybe at one point, if I stop, I still want to be in this industry, because it's still the passion, and we know it's growing. When you see here, we have like 400 people or something. So it's still there, and there's always a place to make it maybe better or help other people, taking new drivers up, and yeah.
And do you recognise that you're still possibly the biggest name in RC still? Or at least one of the biggest names in RC?
Yeah, I think there are many, but yeah, I guess like Hara and my name is still maybe pretty high, especially after the Worlds in Bangkok and all the races we had in this time. So yeah, I know the name is still there 100%, but the other names are also coming up.
And do you think about that at all, or is it now I'm focused on my job at the racetrack, going to race, doesn't matter what Instagram followers say today, I'm going to go and race?
No, I just go to race. Yeah. I don't look at this. I just drive and be focused. And if I don't race, I don't even open the Facebook account, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's been wonderful kind of getting to know you over the years as well. You've been such a core part, as I say, of RC industry in general. And, big changes over that last 8 years that we've talked about. And who knows what the future is going to hold as well. But thank you for kind of letting us come along your journey with you. It's been great to kind of sit down again and chat and find out a bit more about Marc Rheinard and the real Marc Rheinard. So thank you very much for your time today. Good luck at all your future races as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.